Yeah, good morning, guys. Good morning. It's Yusuf from the Daily Money Market. Yeah, happy holidays, man. Everyone is in the mood of holiday. And forget how the market is actually performing. It's crazy if you actually, been in the market and to see how the market is actually performing at the moment. We haven't seen commodities going all the way high like the way they are. Indices, stocks, and bond goes all the way to the roof like the way they are actually spiking on. So if you look at like the instrument like gold, gold reaches to 2088 if I'm actually checking it in a global market. 2080, I think 86 or 89, somewhere there, even 2090 if you actually pay very, very close attention. And you check instrument like Nasdaq, which is a stocks, and try to see actually where exactly sitting. Nasdaq is sitting at 16,957. This is one of the all-time high in terms of the growth of the stocks, and they're actually celebrating that they actually hit the highest for 2 months. So probably things are good. The other interesting also instrument that you can actually look because of everything that is happening during this season, during the December, it's a safe haven of Swiss franc. So Swiss franc actually it was on 1,600 $168.845 to 1 Swiss franc. That was the price on the stock market. So there's a couple of things that are actually happening to push the instrument like a Swiss franc, to push the instrument like gold, to push instrument like Nasdaq and the USDT. A couple of things that are actually happening so that those instruments can stay on a higher level. So if you look at WTI as well, let me just look at WTI and see where it's actually sitting. WTI, all right. So WTI right now it's sitting around $74.27 per barrel, right? And thinking of how the economists they were expecting that WTI is gonna rise up, is gonna go back to where it was, maybe to $85 per barrel, or maybe $90 per barrel, because of what is actually been happening in a Middle East, in terms of the war, Israel and the Palestine in Gaza. So the Arabs they had their own meeting this December. All groups of Arabs they were having the meeting. I think the biggest decision that they took there is to maintain the price of this oil at this particular time. They don't want something to happen again like what happened with the Ukraine and Russia war, where we saw oil spiking up to actually $100, $101 per barrel. So even also companies, the big companies that actually hold petroleum companies that they hold the oil, they are also anticipating to maintain this price of 74, 73, $72 per barrel for the whole end of this year all the way to next year. That's where they're gonna now start actually giving the attention of raising it or keeping and dropping it. But they're not gonna just raise the price of the oil just because of it's a following year, it's a 2020, 4. What they are waiting is the Federal Reserve to make a decision in terms of they will start dropping the interest rate, or they are actually start continue raising the interest rate. So if you look at it, couple of months the Federal Reserve have been pausing the interest rate. They haven't actually hiking the interest rate. They pause it and they haven't even start dropping it. So the economists they're expecting that at least maybe next year, uh, from the first quarter, they're gonna start at least dropping the interest rate. So that's why the WTI is sitting at this 74 all the way to $72 per barrel, because of they are actually waiting to see what the Federal Reserve of US is gonna say. So in that way, because of a lot of people, they are uncertain about the market, about how the Federal Reserve they're gonna be doing following year. So this is the habit of the investors, when they're investing in a stock market or they're investing in a global market. When there will be an uncertainty about the change of the price or the change of the interest rates, what they do, they look for a different instrument that are called the safe haven, right? So at the moment, we saw a lot of investors, starting pulling, buying their shares on a safe haven instrument like gold and the Swiss franc. That is why we can see the instrument like gold is still hitting the all high time of 2089 or 2090 in terms of $2090 per brick of gold, you see. So that's what is driving this market to continue being on that level, because of everyone who's investing their uncertainty. They wanna put their money in a safe haven, which is Swiss franc. We saw the Swiss franc spiking up all the way to 189 dollars per Swiss franc. That means people, they are trusting that type of side of Switzerland, that if we put our money, save it in this side, they'll be safe, because of the economy of that side. It always perform very, very well. So that's one of the things that actually caught me this period of December. And that's what I realized, that this is what is actually driving the market to be on a level high where it is, because of a lot of people, they are an incentive, and they don't want to take their money and now start investing to different stocks of US, and then the following year, the Feds again starting raising the interest rate, the dollar starting weakening, the companies are starting losing a lot of financial stability, and if you have a share, you probably also lose a little bit of some money there. So another thing that caught me an interest at commodities. So if you look at how the price of food, how they've been rising up, and including the commodity like cocoa, sunflower, because these are commodities that they're on a stock market that people can be able to trade. Even in a forex market, people can be able to participate in this type of commodities. So it's been a very, very dry season to one of the countries like in East Africa, like Ghana, that actually produce a lot of cocoa, and the Europeans, they use this cocoa for different things. So they buy the cocoa from that site and shipping it to Europe. And the Europe now, they can start doing the production of the milk, the production of hair products, the production of medicine and food, and so on and so forth, that comes from the product that comes from the East Africa. So now, because of the being with the dry season, they haven't harvest a lot of those type of products, so that they can ship it, sell it to Europeans. Now Europeans, they run out of ingredients that they can actually produce some of the things that they need. So that's why we saw in United Kingdom things really, really starting spiking up about food products, hair products, body products, things starting spiking up in terms of the price. But the interesting part, the Federal Reserve of UK, they still saying that they are going to maintain the interest rate down, so they are not going to increase. They're going to start now reducing the interest rate. So that's what is hoping. A lot of people are actually hoping to see that, okay, if the inflation could be back in the central bank comfort zone by the end of 2024, then that will show a little bit of stability, and I think a lot of price they can be able to drop down. So yeah, man, there's a lot of things that are actually happening in the global market. I saw an article from the Wall Street Journal about the bus station across America are actually closed. I'm not sure what is the the problem there, but if you close the intercity bus station that are actually helping people who doesn't have enough money, to use maybe their own cars and so on and so forth. That means you are actually killing the movement of people. And if you kill the movement of people, you're actually killing the economy. You're killing the buying and the selling, because people, they move from different area, go to wherever that they want to buy something, or maybe to sell something. But in the means of a transport or so, they're spending also their money in the means of transport. So yeah, that's what I saw on it was on a Wall Street Journal. I think this thing is started, like, I don't know, yesterday or last week. Yeah, but yeah, there've been a lot of interesting news. I saw what do you call, the Bank of Japan preparing to ground for the hike with a serve of comments. So they are preparing to hike the interest rate. It's been very, very tough in terms of China and Japanese, and they've been in a very tight economy. I saw another article on a Bloomberg that they were actually selling the private, the public company that belongs to the government. They are actually selling 60 something percent, to the private, so that the private they can buy. And the government can only do that if they cannot maintain their interest rate in terms of reducing. That means they need more money to pump in a government. But in order the money to come in, they need to sell the shares of public share, which is a public company, which is really, really not good. So that's what I saw. So Bank of Japan under prepare grounds for the hike. So definitely things are not good. They're keeping on increasing the hike. So yeah, man, keep watching the market. The market, they're actually on an upper level at this particular time. So guys, keep watching the market and click the subscribe, and actually share, like,